Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be showing you guys probably the new best way to make money here in Grand Theft Auto Online, but you've got to be quick because this opportunity is going to be going away in just a couple of days, which is pretty nuts. So what I'm talking about today is Rockstar's newest double money and RP mode that they've added. It's an adversary mode called Overtime Rumble, and I've given you guys my brief opinion on what I think about this mode. I enjoyed it. It is a ton of fun. It's like a combination of curling and darts, but with vehicles, and it's really awesome. So Rockstar released this game yesterday. It's double money and RP only until July 17th, which, like I said, is like less than 5 days from now. So you really don't have a lot of time to take advantage of this money-making opportunity. But because it's double money and RP, you guys have been rolling in the cash. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm going to show you guys some examples on the screen right now. And these are just a handful of the hundreds of submissions that you guys sent in. I tried to pick the best quality one. Some of you guys need to take advantage of the screenshot feature on your console or get yourself an Elgato or something like that, because some of these, you guys made a lot of money, but some of these photos were so bad that I couldn't even include them in this video. But it just goes to show you how much money you guys were ultimately making. I mean, over $200,000, $230,000, $212,000, $213,000, $150,000, $136,000, and this is only for playing the game for roughly around 30 to 45 minutes. The amounts you see, they're like 130 or 150. That's about 30 minutes. The ones that are closer to 200 is about 45 minutes. So just the sheer amount of money that you guys were making on this adversary mode is absolutely nuts. I thought that Dawn Raid was the best way to make money, but this blows Dawn Raid out of the water. This is clearly going to be the champion as far as making money goes. And if you guys have made any good money or an amount maybe higher than what you've seen on the screen or close to what you've seen on the screen, send me a picture, tweet it at me. I'd love to see something like that. So I always think that that is pretty cool. But anyways, let's get into the game mode and let's talk about how you can make money. So there's 7 of these maps, and unlike Dawn Raid, where the objective for the most part is pretty similar, you're just at a different spot on the map, each map is diversely different, and the strategies are going to change depending on what map you play. So it's a little bit hard for me to tell you what way is ultimately the best. However, because this is an adversary mode, I can give you some basic tips that apply to everything as far as Grand Theft Auto Online money making goes. Number 1, the way you make money is determined on 2 things: your winning percentage, so if you win the match versus you lose, and number 2, how long you were in the game. So obviously, number 1, winning is better. Number 2, you want to find that sweet spot of being in the game for a long enough time, but not being in the game for too long where you have a diminishing value of returns. So setting it to the maximum rounds possible is good, but you don't want to try and go into like overtime each round. You want to like be kind of snappy about it, and you want to try and win too. Now, if you want to cut down on loading times and play with the same players, I recommend throwing all 7 of these into a playlist. However, that will prevent you from playing the same match over and over and over again. Now, this could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, the reason I say this is a good thing or a bad thing is because you might be way better at one map versus another. I know that there's one of these maps that I am terrible at. I think it's number 7, where it's like a giant funnel. I'm really bad at this one, but I'm pretty good at the first one. So maybe you find one map that you enjoy over the other, and you want to just target on that one because you know if you play that one, it's almost a guaranteed win every single time. So this would be my strategy: play all the maps once, figure out which one you like the best, and then focus in on that one and do it over and over and over again and master it. Again, the idea here is to grind for money. We want to have fun at the same time, but what I think is fun is making the most amount of money and winning. So that's what I would recommend you do. Now, some tips as far as the adversary mode goes, I've got a couple of them. Number 1, sometimes it pays to go fast. Sometimes it pays to go slow. So on some maps, as I mentioned, you'll actually be the benefactor if you're the first one to arrive on the platform, and sometimes it's in your best interest to be the last one to arrive on the platform. Just because you can go immediately doesn't mean you have to. I think you have around 30 seconds in order to get off of the platform. So take all the time you want in order to maybe wait out some of the players so that you can get the best possible advantage and maybe land on the best spot at the very end. or you could knock players out of the way. That's another thing you can do. Use your car as a weapon. If you see players are landing early, wait a little bit and then swoop in at the very last second and then knock them around like bowling pins, where you stay in your position, but you knock them off and you take points away from their team. The second tip I can give you is, even though you can't really brake or accelerate once you hit the ground, you can turn your wheels. And turning your wheels can be a great way of either stopping yourself from going off the cliff or getting yourself in a position where you won't get bumped off by another player. So as soon as you hit the ground, what you want to do is either turn your wheels to the left or the right, and that should stop the momentum of your car, allowing you to basically stay in the same spot you were. And you can also, tactically maneuver yourself around either other players or other enemies. Tip number 3, you have more than one parachute. You can use the parachute to gain speed, slow yourself down. If one of your teammates hits you or bumps into you, you can deploy a parachute again. I see so many people get bumped and then they just fall to their death. You've got multiple parachutes, so use it to accelerate, decelerate, all sorts of stuff like that. And it's a very useful tool that you can use to get yourself on the right spot. And really, the last tip I can give you guys for this game mode is don't go for it all. So a lot of people see the 5, like the one that rewards you the most points, and they automatically want to go for that. Well, most of the 5s on these maps are in really tough spots, and honestly, they're not worth it. This might be a little bit conservative, but my strategy, and I've won a lot of these games, is to play it safe rather than sorry. Go for 3 or 4, and if your team gathers, 2 or 3 or 4 of those per map, that's going to be better than if just one of you guys gets 5 and the rest of you guys get 0 and then 1. So again, play it safe rather than sorry. I only like to use the 5 in an emergency situation, like if we're down by a ton and we absolutely need a bunch of big numbers. But at the end of the day, I've been having an absolute blast with this adversary mode, and the fact that we've been making a ton of money with it is honestly just the icing on the cake here. And I think you guys can make an absolute ton of money with this adversary mode, and there's nothing that's stopping you from making tons of cash like what you saw earlier in the stream. I'm not a terrifically great player, and I imagine that all the people tweeting at me aren't, super all-stars either. So if they can do it, you can certainly do it too. And the fact that this adversary mode is a ton of fun, I think Rockstar should honestly just stick to making vehicle adversary modes, because this one, Vehicle Vendetta, Sumo, they all seem to be the best ones in my opinion. So this one is a ton of fun, and you can make a ton of money as well, which is awesome. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy, and hopefully you learned a thing or two about this adversary mode, as well as the potential amount of money that you might be missing out on. As always, let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter how much money you've made from this mode. If you did go to enjoy the video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.